Short thought from the Sefer Kol Dodi in preparation for Yom Kippur. It's of course the culmination of all the days since Rosh Chodesh Elul. So it gives a mashal. I think it's a little bit of a famous mashal, but nevertheless it hits the point. There was a man who was doing business in his country, and it was very difficult for him. He was buying merchandise, but the margin of profit was very low. And he heard that across the next country, he would make much, much more money. But the only thing is, there was they weren't allowed to cross over into that country and sell. They could go over there, but they can't sell. They can't sell things. But he was willing to take the risk. So he bought merchandise, and in 40 days from then, he was going to go into the country, and he was going to do what he can to sell and try to make a bigger profit for him and his family. So what happens is he hires a driver. He hires a driver, a guy in the chariot to take him. He tells him, "Look, I'm going to pay you good money but it's risky. This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to cross the border, and if they see that I have merchandise, they're going to punish me and punish you also. You're a part of it." So the driver, okay, he says, "You know what? I'm willing to take the risk." So what happens is, from day one, the guy himself is very scared. He's worried. What's going to happen on that day when I eventually, get to the border? What's going to happen? He's very, very worried. The driver's not so worried, because it's not really him. It's the guy who has the merchandise. That's the guy that's going to be worried. What happens is, about 10 days before or so, he starts to get worried himself. You know what? I don't know if I should have done this. I don't know if it's the right idea. Think for me. I'm not making that much of this. And he's thinking and thinking and thinking. And the day before, the driver, he hires like a young teenager or whatever to join. He says, "Look, I'm going across the border. You can be like a backup driver for the horses, whatever. Come, please. I'll pay you good money." So the kid says, "Wow, this is a lot of money for this little job. What's the deal here?" He says, "I'll tell you the truth. There's a little bit of a risk involved and whatever." So the kid, it's tomorrow it's happening. He's getting pretty nervous. Comes the day of, and they're all three of them. They get together on the horses and the chariots, and they're all nervous. They're all very nervous. It's going to happen at the border. The only one who's not nervous is the horse itself. Is not nervous, right? The horse itself is not nervous, right? So what happens at the end of the story? You can fill in the blanks. But the nimshal is for when it comes to Yom Kippur. There's people already from the beginning of Elul that are already nervous. Oh my gosh, what's going to be in the next year? Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. They're nervous the whole time. What's going to happen? And they take the whole time very, very seriously. And then there's the people that they wake up a little bit already Rosh Hashanah, which is already still good. But Rosh Hashanah, the whole 10 days, they're, at least let's be like the teenager in the story, that Yom Kippur, we wake up. We don't want to be Chas v'Shalom like the horse in the story, right? So B'ezrat Hashem, let's put our full effort into Yom Kippurim with the tefillot and with the teshuvah, and Hashem will answer all of our prayers. Amen.